Hi, this is Ang Lee, but you can call me Leo, and thank you so much for viewing this audition tape, and I hope you enjoy the songs that I'm going to play for you and also sing for you. I'll start off by telling you a little bit about my music background and also about my professional background. So I started taking piano lessons when I was 4, and I took it all the way until about 12 or 13, and between that time was when I learned all the foundation stuff about music, for example, like theories, sight reading, hand exercises, and classical songs. And after that, when I was in my mid-teens, I started learning about chords and also about playing with other musicians and playing by ear. And after my voice dropped, I started learning singing, and I didn't know that I loved it so much until I started learning. And after I started learning it, I couldn't stop. I learned from 15 all the way till 19. Even when I was into college, I still drove back to learn. And one of the first 2 songs I remember that I learned, if anyone's ever taking vocal lessons, it was Caro mio ben, credimi men, senza di te languisce il cor. I fell so much in love with that. I owe so much of what I've learned to my piano teachers and my vocal coaches. And eventually, during college, I started working part-timing as a musician and singer at 400 Training Center. So what we do is they would gather a group. We have maybe 4 to 5 different groups of kind of band-like arrangements where there's a drummer, a bassist, electric guitarist, keyboard player, and singers. And I was one of the 4 leaders that led one of the 4 teams. And so that's when I also learned the importance, of listening more than just playing well, singing well, really listening to others and making the whole sound good instead of just yourself. And I learned a lot from that. And eventually the leaders started writing songs for our own teams and for the training center. And I started writing songs of my own. I started composing melodies, that I thought would go well if we were to input it in a real live setting. From about 2008 to very recently, last year around April, we were finally able to make our first CD, where I made my first album, collaborated with all the other co-artists and co-band leaders that, were together. And I'm going to play one of the songs, MP3 version, at the end of the video, after the improvisation. So that's my music background. I've also done works as a translator and interpreter at Foreign Training Center, where I translated written as well as verbal documents. After my mom and I had the major surgeries, I began working later on as a behavioral therapist, and I've been working as a behavioral therapist ever since, and I love my job. So these are my professional experiences. There's 3 main reasons that I chose music therapy. First of all, it has to do with my passion for music. First and foremost, music and psychology. Music has been the constant in my life. I'm the only person in my entire family, out of all my cousins and relatives, who chose music professionally, or who chose to pursue this. And so it's very much a part of my identity. And as for psychology, I love it because I love studying people. I love studying the why behind the what. And so combine these 2 together, it is the perfect program. And the second reason was the power of music that I witnessed when my mom and I were in the hospital. And after she got the surgery, she was not able to move. She was immobile for 4 days and even, couldn't even go to the bathroom. Whenever she was in pain, I would take out the guitar and play for her and sing for her. And whenever I do that, she would literally, become more relaxed and be able to fall asleep. And she told me that her pains just magically decreased. And so that was when I saw music as something that's very therapeutic, that's very tangible. And after my mom had the surgery, long story short, I discovered I had a tumor as well. And I have a picture of my leg with a scar on it. Pre-surgery, post-surgery, I used music as a way of healing myself, and I was able to kind of morph my agony, my anxiety into melodies, into songs, And then in a way, it was able to free me up more. And so originally I felt very numb. I felt like I just didn't care anymore. I just felt like if I die, just make it quick. But that numbness because of music went away, and I was able to not shut down and actually still be functional because of it. Working with children living with autism behaviors, and a lot of times that's hard because we're not able to get the attention of our patients, because number one, they're so young, number two, they're living with autism, so many times they're very aloof. What sets me apart from all the other therapists is the use of music. So whether it's a guitar or a keyboard or singing, I'm able to draw their attention, and for that amount of time of drawing their attention, I'm able to teach them something that they otherwise would not been able to learn. They like it a lot, and in turn they're able to open up a lot. So these three are the main reasons. As for why I chose NYU as my top and only choice, it's because number one, of the staff members, the professors there that teach music therapy, I was reading the biographies of the professors there, and I was just thinking, for me to be able to study under them, that would be just brilliant. So that's something that I'm looking forward to if I get in, and I really hope I would. And number two is the location that NYU is in. New York, to me, is such a diverse place that the availability of fieldworks, the diverse fieldworks that are there, for me to partake in would be numerous. And for me, what I'm aiming toward right now is music therapy toward the mentally handicapped or the terminally ill. So these two are the main groups that I was thinking about learning in terms of providing music therapy to. Besides Maryland, I've never been to anywhere else in the East Coast, and I've only traveled to several other states. And so for me, New York is something that's so foreign but so attractive. Ever since I've come to the States, which was when I was 10, I'm 26 now. So for all these 16 years I've spent it in California, I feel like 16 years is a bit too long, and I really long to branch out and go somewhere completely different. And I have a feeling that I'll like it. I might get a bit shocked at first, but I think I'm able to adapt, so that's why. So one little extra thing about me that's very interesting that people usually don't know about is that I'm actually 1/16 Iranian. My mom actually looks very Middle Eastern, but by the time it got to me, it probably got so diluted that, people can't tell anymore. But that's something, a little something extra that people don't know about. Love is so very hard to find. Tell me, Lord, where does true love reside? 在我眼里发出香气。我的那个小鸟再次打破在你脚前，耶稣，我因你死爱沉迷。Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. Something unpredictable, in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind. Hang it on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. Something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life.
上的乌云就散开了，他的脸好像一个大太阳，我生命就被他照亮了。对我笑一笑，我头上的乌云就散开了，他的脸好像一个大太阳，我生命就被他照亮了。我知道故事结尾怎样，我靠着耶稣从旷野上来，他牵着我手一起飞翔到玻璃海上。我知道故事结尾怎样，我靠着耶稣从旷野上来，他牵着我手一起飞翔到玻璃海上，看着阿爸笑，哦，看着阿爸笑，哦，看着阿爸笑，哦，看着阿爸笑。哈利路亚，哈利路亚，哈利路亚，哈利路亚，哈利路亚。在玻璃海上，在玻璃海上，在玻璃海上，看着阿爸笑，在玻璃海